Good evening, everyone. I'm John,
Hey, y'all are. Cajun Rob here.
and we have a guest, Linda Gessner. She's the um, pro angler who won the Table Rock event this past Thursday and Friday, or Friday, Saturday. I can't remember which. And I'm surprisingly enough, it wasn't a frog bite because we all know Linda as a frog professional.
Yep.
And so let's listen to Linda and Secret York maybe on later. She's having difficulty connecting and things like that. So we'll go from here.
Sounds good. Hey, how's it going, Linda? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been about a week.
Yeah.
It's going pretty good. I mean, I can't complain. Table Rock a couple of weeks ago, our Bass and Gals tournament, I belong to a women's club up there in Missouri. We went ahead and pre-fished the pre-fish for the LBAA, and I went ahead and won that by 0.4 of a pound to Robbie, who came in second. But it was the same bite, exactly the same bite. And actually, it was almost the same. I stayed in one cove for the majority of both tournaments.
Right.
And happened to find pre-fish fish there in about, I'll say, 3 to 8 feet. And all I was doing is using a green pumpkin shaky head.
Okay.
That's it. That was the main bite. I mean, yeah, you could use a green pumpkin tube, or I used a green pumpkin fish doctor when it got a little tight, but 99% of my bites for those two tournaments came on a green pumpkin shaky head. Because there's three colors at Table Rock. That's all you need is green pumpkin, green pumpkin, green pumpkin. I mean,
Absolutely.
That's Table Rock's color. I mean, I've fished it. What is this? 24. I've fished it for 24 years. And when I first started fishing it, I fished it with a fish doctor stuffed on a tube jig, those weighted tubes, because they didn't have shaky heads at the time. And I would fish that fish doctor just like I do a shaky head. And I've done real well there. And it's just that time of year. Our club normally goes up there in April, mid-April, and so it's almost the same bite. So I found an area that I didn't fish it ever before in this one creek, and they were just on fire on the Bass and Gals tournament. I'd go down the bank, and it was like every 2 casts I'd get a fish. I mean, it was okay. We're good with this, and
Wow.
I went back this time, and it was like, okay, they're here, but they're getting, of course, because of the tournament, they're getting smaller and they're getting fewer. I mean, that's just seems to be the genre, So I went ahead and I expanded a little bit, and day one of the tournament, I started in a certain spot over in Schooner, and I picked up, a 3-pound fish, and my co-angler picked up one, and it's just a onesie place. So we went to my next spot, and I picked up a couple more. It was really hard it's been tough. It just a couple of bites, and I went to 2 other places, and got one each, and my co-angler was Cullen. And then about 5 minutes before we had to come in on day one, I went to one of the creeks that was really close and picked up my last fish. I mean, in the last 5 minutes on day one, I had 5 fish, but they were good fish. It was like I got tons of fish, little squeakers. They were good 2.5, 3-pound fish. So I was okay with that. Day two, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do the same because those fish had moved or they'd just been all taken out of there. I mean, they just weren't there anymore. So I told my co-angler on day 2, we were going to go to my first spot because I love it and I usually can get one. Then we're going to back up and go back towards the launch because there was 2 spots or 3 spots I wanted to fish after the first spot. And when the first spot didn't produce, second spot, I got like that smallmouth. It was about a 2-something smallmouth. And then it started getting really windy. And I said, we got to go to my furthest spot back towards the launch. And when I did that, I picked up a 3.5-pound largemouth on a windy point, really nice rock. but that was the only fish in that area. I was going to fish one more point, and I couldn't fish the point. It was too windy, so I went back into the cove all the way to the back. And it didn't have any buckbrush per se, but it had a lot of rocks and little ditches. And I caught one back there. Like I said, they're just onesie spots. You go down the bank and you get one. So I went to my main cove that the main creek that I got most of my fish in. And I went ahead and I fished a dock. I fished a couple of divots that I knew I missed one, didn't get anything. Fished a dock that I knew there was some, they didn't bite. I said, I'm just going to go to the north shore in that cove and fish that north shore for about 2,000 feet. And I go down the shoreline, and you can see on the shoreline where it was just jutting out a little teeny bit, and the wind was hitting across it. And I threw that shaky head in there and got one. So that's 4. Put my shaky head in there, one more cast, down the bank about 10 feet, got another one, and another cast, 10 foot, got another one. So I got 3 in a row on that bank. We fished that bank for about 2,000 feet, never got another bite.
Oh, hey.
So, and then go ahead.
No, go ahead. I apologize.
So my co-angler only got like 1 or 2 bites. I mean, it was super tough, and I said, because the wind really kicked up about 25 mile an hour and so. So I said, I'm going to go straight across. I know they're good spawning coves. We're going to go all the way to the back and see if anybody's in the buckbrush since the water's up. But that was not my pattern. But I went ahead and went around. We saw some beds in that. And I told her, I said, there's 2 beds over there we can get to real easy between this buckbrush. And she threw her shaky head over there. And you could see that fish flash. I mean, it was just amazing how fast it came out from the buckbrush, and she caught it, and I think it was like a 3/8 or something. So I was really happy, even though she got one good fish. So I was happy with that. So I wanted to get her something, but it was a tough bite. I think I had 7 bites. No, I had 5 bites on day 1 and 6 bites on day 2.
Wow.
That was it. I was looking for 5 good bites, and thank God that's what I got.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I see Cindy Adler Jackson. She was a guest on our show as well in the past. She was having a very tough first day until about 15 minutes left, and then she caught her limit with about 15 minutes.
Wow.
I don't know what she was doing, but she might have been on a windy point and scooped them all up real close to the boat. I don't know. I kind of know where she was fishing, but I don't know. I don't ask people what they're fishing with, because I've got my own style. I'd rather do my own thing because I don't want to get stuff in my head like I'm doing something wrong. I just, I'd rather do it wrong, but it's going to be my decisions. So I think the decisions I made to back up were the right decisions. I wasn't looking for a lot of fish. I was just looking for the right fish. And thank goodness I found, a couple of really nice ones.
Absolutely.
There's Secret.
Yeah. Hello, Secret. How are you?
I don't know if she can hear you.
I'm not sure either, but no, she keeps popping in and out. She must have bad reception. Well, I want to first of all say happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers and fathers out there that are being mothers. And, I just want to say that, we appreciate all of you and everything you guys do for us. Okay.
Absolutely. And
let's not forget some of the people like Terry Sindrick. She finished 3rd on the pro side and Jenny Orlowski finished 3rd and then Robbie Hartline finished 2nd on the pro side. So it's not like you were fishing against Rob and I. You were fishing against some really heavy hitters.
Yeah, absolutely.
The ladies are 99% of the ladies on the tour. You got to watch out for them. But like I said, when I fished like bull shoals, I was on fish with the Bassin gals, and then my fish got small. Even though I got my 5 fish, I had to go around and find fish, and they got smaller. this time I was just lucky to find some larger fish. I was not going for the spawners. I was going for the pre-spawners, coming up and trying to stay away from a lot of the buck bass and that kind of stuff. I didn't want a lot of bites. So I was just lucky in finding that. And I was trying to stay out on either they were on points and windy points, and I'm not, just a breeze point. And it had to be a little bit of rubble and sand. I didn't want that dirt stuff. And if the ledge rock was there, that was okay. That was more for smallmouth. But smallmouth, I didn't think we're going to win the tournament. I'd rather have tried for largemouth in the back of the creeks. And so that's what I focused on. When I went into the creek, I wanted to have like a 45-degree bank, and I really wanted to have that baseball gravel, whitish, yellowish rock. I didn't want the dirt mixed into it. So that's what I looked for. And if I could find that, I could, you just take your time with that shaky head and you bring it down back to the boat, and that's what that's the sweet, that for me, that was a sweet spot. So if I could find those sweet spots, I was okay. I mean, there was a lot of bass spawning underneath that buck brush, but a lot of it to me was buck bass, and the large females just hadn't come up yet, even though there was a lot of beds there. The beds weren't there when we practiced because the water was low and it came up. And then Tuesday, the shad spawn started because I started seeing those where I was. I started seeing those shad getting pushed out of the water, and you could see a couple of dead shad hanging around. So I knew the shad spawn was on, but it's a hit or miss where you get that shad spawn, where you're fishing. It's just, just a lot of luck and a little bit of skill looking for what I'm looking for. Because I'm kind of, if I find something, then I try and repeat that all over the lake in a matter of, miles and stuff. I'll go into each creek and try and find that sweet spot. I'm not one to sit in a whole creek and just run the whole creek.
Right. Well, I just want to mention we have the co-angler winner on as well. Hello, Secret. How are you doing?
I made it.
Yeah, we hear you now. Yeah, we got you now.
I had to go out and sit in my truck.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Yep.
Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
I live in the back country.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Just want to say congratulations to you and your victory. If you don't mind talking a little bit about your day one on how that went.
Okay. So I practiced with Heather Broom, and she's a good friend of mine. We travel together, and we just luckily, I guess you call it luckily, not luckily, I don't know what you call it, drew out each other on the first day. So we practiced together, and in practice, we help each other. So I can cast over behind her or whatever. I kind of got used to doing that. And then she told me, said, well, tomorrow's tournament day. That's going to be different. We've never fished a tournament, like that. And she said, you may not like me after tomorrow, but it was all good. We got on a real good bite. So we had some bedding fish, not a lot, just a few, coming up. And she found out real quick that it was the bucks that were coming up. And so she started skipping a mag draft swim bait, and if you would skip it even close to a bush somewhere, the male or females are sitting around the backside of those bushes waiting. And if they didn't come out and eat that mag draft, they would swap at it or follow it or something, and she'd pick up a creature top bait and flip in there on the bushes and catch them. So with her doing that, of course, me behind her, I couldn't do none of that stuff. So I found out she'd run into a creek, and we'd have a bank there. There'd be one little shot of rock and gravel mixed, maybe 25 yards wide. And before she could even get the boat set up, I could make 3 or 4 casts on that gravel. We'd be sitting out in 15 foot, and I'd catch a keeper every time, and throwing a firetail crawl crankbait is a run 9 to 14 foot deep. And you could see on the graph the fish were sitting in 8 to 12 foot of water on that rock, only on that rock. But once you got past that rock, the softer bottom, they were up there in 2 foot or so, making the beds.
Right.
So the first day we went in, and I think I caught one my second cast on the crankbait, and I caught 2 within 20 minutes, real quick. And then she got set up and started working down with it. And I was throwing a cutter crawl that by BizBaits, just a real small little 2.5 inch crawdad.
Yep.
And I just blind cast into the bushes trying to pick something that maybe she didn't see or left me. But and that I just had to find something that I could try to fish behind her. And I didn't really think I would the next day would draw anybody doing anything close to what she's doing, and I didn't. But it's you still got to change up to try to go in behind, especially somebody that's going to clean the water in front of you, kind of like Linda Gessner does.
Oh yeah.
That was one of my next thing, Travis. It's we do have the winners on every week or after every tournament, but now we've got the fortune to have both anglers of the year, leading anglers of the year on. Linda has a little bit more of a gap between first and second than Secret, but that's a good spot to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, front runners.
Oh,
we got the front runners on.
You guys may not know it, but me and Linda, this is the third time since the Classic last year. We both won the Classic last year, which actually I think we drew out one day together there, and then we've won twice together since then. So this is our third time. So we kind of got a little deal going here.
Yeah, y'all the front runners. Y'all the front runners. I ain't no doubt. Y'all deserve that name now.
Yeah.
Well, we have all the kinks worked out for Gunnersville tournament, right?
Well, not real. I wasn't going to go to Gunnersville, but I told Travis I'll go and see what I can do there. I've fished on Gunnersville before. It can be really good and it can be really hard. So we'll see.
Yeah.
If I don't go, then I don't have a chance at Angler of the Year. If I do go, I have my own destiny of Angler of the Year. So we'll see how that goes.
Absolutely.
How about you, Secret? Are you looking forward to Gunnersville?
Oh yeah, I love Gunnersville. I've been there several times, and like she said, it can be awesome and it can be terrible. I think that lake's, over the last 4 or 5 years, it's just been hammered. So it's got a lot of pressure on it. It's going to be nice and hot when we do go. So I like it. So it's going to be a drastic change from what we've been fishing this year.
Oh yeah.
You think? I'm hoping there's a frog bite.
Yeah.
That's where I learned how to frog bite with a scum frog.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I hope it is too, because I know when you do good, I do good. So you just keep frogging.
Yeah, I learned how to throw a ribbit and a scum frog there, and perfected that. So I've been there a couple of times, and if I can get the frog bite to go, if I can find somewhere, I've got some old. I have to dust off the map, and because we're fishing from a different area, but I've got some good notes, and I have to put some feelers out and see what's going on. But yeah, all I can do is do my best, and we'll see what happens.
There you go.
I'm praying there's a frog bite, because I've only caught 3 frogs all year. 3 frog bites all year. 1 was a keeper and 2 were shorts, and that's the only. And I soak it. I mean, I soak it a lot, and I wish Table Rock would have turned on, because they should have been in every single little ditch there was. You twitch it twitch it in there like a buzz bait going right through the center, and they should have come up and hammered it. It doesn't make sense why it didn't, but it didn't. So we'll see.
Okay. Let's go to day 2. We'll start out with Secret. How did your day 2 go on Table Rock?
Day 2, I drew Linda Redford, which she lives there on the lake and still fishes all the time. She's pretty sure she said she's 75 years old. And
wow.
I fished with her 30 years ago on the Lady Bass Angler, or Lady what was it?
The Bass
Lake
Gals.
National Bass and Gals. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bass and Gals. And I probably haven't seen her since maybe 20 years ago, I guess. And she just jumped into this one because it's right there on her home lake. And I was pretty tickled. She told me, she said, we're going to be fishing deep. And she said, you throw a Carolina rig and a jig. And I said, oh, thank you. I said, I'm going to literally have to dig those rods out of the corner of the room because Heather hasn't let me, pretty much haven't taken those in the boat all week. So, and she did fish more my style, but the bite probably wasn't even as good as what we were doing shallow. I mean, I didn't catch a keeper. We didn't get a bite till 10 o'clock, and I had my limit by 7:30 or so the day before. And so finally I caught one at a very small one, just a line burner at 10 o'clock. And then it was just here and there all throughout the day. And she actually caught her second keeper 2 minutes before we went into the weigh-in. So it's pretty skimpy during that day.
Absolutely.
And I think everybody pretty much had that trouble because I think there was girls that had 4 and 5 fish limits the day before coming with one fish. Quite a few of them, I think.
Yeah.
What I've learned with spawning bass, and I learned it at Hickory, is once you take those spawners off those beds, you better have more beds because they're not going to load up on those beds. It's just like a frog bite.
Yeah.
Once you take that frog bite off there, you got to have more room. You got to go and get them somewhere else because they're gone. And that I think might have happened to some of the ladies. I'm not sure, but that was my experience when I go after bedding fish. But that's not what I was doing because I know that always burns me. Because normally when I fish that shallow, they'll lower the water on you, and then you really get, it's tough. So, but I was fishing what you were fishing, basically that baseball gravelly stuff in, 0 to 50 feet. And I would let that shaky head just soak in there, and that's where they were. So I was kind of fishing the same thing, a different bait. That's where I caught mine.
I was seeing them on the graph at 8 to 12 foot. I didn't know if that's fish staging up, ready to move up, that stage or fish coming out, or I'm sure there was lots of beds there at 8 to 10 foot.
Yes.
So, but there was just fish in that depth anywhere that rock was.
Yes. That's what that was my pattern. Anywhere that rock was, you had a good chance of getting something. There was, you had all 3 stages. You had where they were coming in, they were leaving, and they were spawning because they will spawn that deep on Table Rock. So mine were healthy. I didn't have but about 1 post-spawn fish. So I think most of them were still coming up.
Okay. Casey York says Secret taught me how to fish when I was a kid.
That'd be my son. That's one of my boys.
All right.
Yeah. So, Linda, day 2 for you. Was it still the shaky head?
Yes. I may have fished 10 casts with the fish doctor. And I put that down, and it was 100% my shaky head, my other shaky head. I don't want to say what it is because it's all reliable, and but it was a power shaky head. It wasn't a little. I had it on a bait caster, and I had it on a 1/4 ounce weight, so it was a power shaky head. And I only got 7 bites, but the 5 that I got in the were the correct bites. But that's the only rod I used. I decided not to use anything else. It's like that's what they were hitting the day before. That's what they were hitting all week. That's what they hit for the Bass and Gals. We're gonna stay with it. We'll do or die with it. And green pumpkin. That's and I put liquid mayhem on it. I put the garlic crawfish and the crawfish on it. And they seem to really like that. So I was all over that. So
nice.
That was it.
Candy says Secret is also the reason Connor York loves the fishing life.
That'd be my grandson.
Yeah. Kind of figured. I'm not sure if you heard because we're getting the show going, but happy belated Mother's Day to you, Secret.
Thank you. Thank you.
So do you think
if I got two boys?
No, I apologize.
Say it again. I said I got 2 boys and I have 5 grandbabies.
Oh wow.
I have 1 daughter and a bunch of baked goods. But no. So day 1, the wind blew. What about day 2? How was it for weather-wise for you guys?
Go ahead, Secret.
Go ahead, Linda. You the driver. Were you the driver? I mean, you can get out. You can get out of the wind anywhere on that lake. So we weren't in the main part of the lake. So I mean, it was good fishing, but of course, running around and the lake winds and back and forth so much that you might have a little shot of rough wind, but it's not bad at all.
Okay. So, Linda, I know you're from the Northeast. It's not like fishing in the Northeast where it's one big bowl, so it makes it hard to get out of. So, do you enjoy going to a lake like that where you can get out of the wind?
Well, actually, I've fished Table Rocks for 24 years. I used to live in Missouri. That's where I worked for 30 years. So, so it's a home lake for me. So I knew everywhere that I fished, I had fished before and I knew what I was looking for. It's not like I had to look for new stuff. So, but it was windy on Tuesday. That's why I had to back up because I wanted to fish my first spot, but then I had to fish the next couple of spots early in the morning because it did get real windy. And on day 1, I tried to fish the spots and I just got blown out of there. So I decided, the day 1, the nighttime, that I would flip that up a little bit so I could fish those spots in the morning. And it got pretty breezy, but it worked out.
Nice.
Yeah, I fished all the lakes in Missouri. I fished Kentucky Lake. I fished all the lakes in Arkansas. That's mainly what I've fished my whole life for bass. I've never fished for bass in Long Island or anything up in the north. So I'm comfortable on Table Rock, on Bull Shoals, on Washita, any of those rocky lakes. I'm comfortable on that.
Okay. Now, Secret, you said on day 2 you were doing Carolina rig and a jig. Now, what's your favorite jig for fishing deep? Do you like the football head or? Oh yeah. Okay.
Football head.
Are you Secret's the one that was doing Carolina rig and a jig?
Yep.
So I mean, the Carolina rig. I mean, I caught a few small ones. I think dinks on the Carolina rig on a trick worm or a finesse worm on the Carolina rig, but I seen right off that was going to be smaller fish, so I just stayed with that cutter crawl Texas rigged and just getting it in there on a lay down or under a bush or something like that, and the better quality fish was coming that way, and that's what I threw all day.
Rita Watkins says she fished with Secret on Bull Shoals, I'm sorry, and said, I said these fish wouldn't bite chopped liver.
That's my mother, and she was literally laying on her belly looking over the side of the boat, and we had bedding fish, and she could poke them with her into her rod, but they wouldn't bite nothing.
Oh.
Wow. I don't know if
she said she got a little bit more respect for the fishermen after that day.
Oh, I bet. Tell her I say every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I could go in a lake that's half an acre with 5,000 bass in it, and some days I can't get bit. But Travis Birch says, Secret for new to co-angling like Carly and Heather. How do you recommend to pack for a day?
How do I recommend to pack for a day? The tackle wise, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, as a co-angler.
Tackle wise, I guess, yeah.
Well, because I am new to this, I bought I think it's called an Ego.
Yep.
It's a backpack. The thing is phenomenal. I mean, you wouldn't believe what you can get in it. And, you throw it on your back. And I mean, you can put my lunch, everything in it with everything that I need. I tried to, limit my rods to, I started out in practice. I got 8 or 10 back there and wadded up mess.
Yep.
But so during practice, I tried to cut back. And then I did our last day of practice. I didn't need but 2 or 3 rods back there. But then you draw a different partner. And so it's hard for me to get less than 6 rods. I mean, I've tried, and then that you'd be taking one of those rods and maybe doing 2 or 3 different things on it, but 6 or 7 rods. And then, like I said, fill that Eagle backpack up and I think you're good.
Yeah.
Life jacket.
Oh yeah.
The life jacket, I got, so I work at Precision Sonar and we build the leash, the motor tether.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys know about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so today I come back to work today and we have tons of orders for the leash when I pull up. And I said, was there an accident, this weekend? What? Kind of find out there's 2 accidents.
Yeah.
I know about Friday and then one week.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got the video from one fellow of his boat and his wife was with him. She was 7 months pregnant, I think. And they hit a floating log that was just kind of like under the surface of the water.
Oof.
And it kicked the motor up, all the way up to the front of the cowling, crashed into the back deck, busted all the front of the cowling. And he's got a picture of it. The leash is still on. It's stretched, but it's still on.
Yep.
And, it stopped the bad business because it's fixing to come in on them. And with that, we had a college kids accident. Everybody knows about that in the fall. And one of those kids' best friend works here, and the life jackets, none of them wear the suspender life jackets anymore. I mean, they want a real life jacket on them. For one reason, they had the padding and stuff for when they do get thrown out of the boat, maybe around the ribs and stuff. And then you don't have to count on it inflating, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Rob likes.
But I have my own life jacket. I don't want nobody else's life jacket. I got my own.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Yeah. Rob likes the inflatables going down the lake.
I had one pop on me at the BFL regional last year. We was flying down and just sprinkling, and all of a sudden pop, and I'm like this. My boater says, "You okay?" Yeah, go ahead. I'm looking at the sky. So yeah, I use that. I guess that Mustang Excel, the red one that goes. But yeah, that's what I use now.
Yeah. Oh.
I think a really good experience as far as co-angling is concerned is to actually get on the water before the tournament and try and practice 1 or 2 days with somebody, actually 2 different people, because everybody fishes differently, and see what's working for you. I mean, because there's lots of different patterns. But it really helps. I mean, if you think you're going to come in on Thursday and ask your boater, well, what's working? That ain't working. That you got to put the time in. So if you put the time in, then you know what to pack in your tackle box. Because I fish as a co-angler on Table Rock in the fall time with Mickey Wolfenberger. And I usually go and I fish that week and in my boat. Then you get together the last couple of days before the tournament, and I'll just whittle that tackle bag down. But I have all the baits that I need for the fall time. I can go with the spinner bait, crankbait, plastics, a jig, and I pack a little bit. I know what colors are working for me, so I'll pack a little bit, 3 of each thing. If I need 2 packages of the plastics, I'm not going to go crazy with the plastics. I'm just going to do 2 different colors, and if the water gets dirty, it's going to be a black and blue. If the water's good, a green pumpkin or a watermelon red. I'm going to keep it simple. The more you think, you got to keep it simple. That's, jigs. I bring jig skirts, and I have a whole bunch of different heads. And then I know if I'm going to use a finesse head or a 1/2 ounce football head, But I got all my jig skirt. I make my own skirts. They're too easy to make, so I make my own skirts, match the colors, and then whatever I need for a weight, I have all those heads. So you have to save. You got to pack efficiently. You got to save weight, and you just got to do the time and figure out what they're biting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had one boater say your lunches weighs more than your tackle.
Yeah.
And that was just his cookies.
Yeah.
No, I bring enough food because when I get hungry, I can't concentrate.
Yep.
Usually on tournaments, I don't eat. I have Nutter Butters and some Gatorade. That's about it.
Yep.
I have a buffet.
I'm too busy fishing.
Yeah, Travis,
when I'm fishing with her, I'm too busy netting. So
I know that feeling.
Travis said his popped on today on Table Rock, his vest.
Inflatable. Yeah, inflatable. Yeah, that's crazy.
And he said he met an awesome co that brought extra spools for his reels with different line sizes for clearer lakes.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll bring it. Yeah, I'll bring an extra reel. I'll bring an extra reel sometimes.
I've got some already ready to go in case one of the reels goes bad. Because if you're crying all day, for some reason those reels just don't have. Some of them don't hold up. But I use from 8 to 12-pound test on all my stuff. Very rarely do I use 15-pound test. Now Gunnersville may be a little bit different. That's why I use 50 and 65-pound braid if I can get it to work.
Absolutely.
So, Secret, with your when you're fishing the deeper water with a jig or a Carolina rig, what's your setup typically like being a co-angler?
Use a medium heavy rod, 7'2" to 7'6", 7.3 to 1 reel, and I have 17-pound fluorocarbon on the reel, and then I use a 10, maybe a 12-pound leader, 3 foot, 2.5 to 3 foot leader, and I use the tungsten weights, and I try to get by with as light as I can. Most of the time, I'm throwing a 3/8 or a quarter. I try not to even get into the half, but if it's real windy or another scenario, which happened this time, if my boater if they just really move fast, if they really move fast, I put a 3/4 ounce on so that I can get down to the bottom right then and actually get it, cover some bottom. But the perfect, if they're going slow and I can get by with that 3/8 and stay on the bottom, it skins over the rocks and stuff, still just, burying up. And keep it moving. You don't have to, there's been times when I have to dead stick it, but not often. You just keep it moving real slow.
Yeah. Yep. When you're saying keep moving, are you reeling or just
no, dragging? Yes,
dragging.
Dragging. Now then when you get into the brush, I pull it into the brush, feel the sinker hit the brush, just let it pop over and then let it set. And then your whatever you got behind it's coming in, and that's usually when you'll get hit. Here on Kentucky Lake, and then also I won a tournament on Hickory, North Carolina, fishing shell beds. That's a big thing on Kentucky Lake. And on that Carolina rig, you can smoke them. You can get in some shell beds.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, to be honest with you, when what's that, Linda? I'm sorry.
It like that with the smallmouth?
Yeah.
On Kentucky Lake? I didn't catch it.
It's changed a little bit because of what are those, the carp?
Yeah.
Aging carp. Yeah, the aging carp.
Yeah.
But they're still good on.
Yeah, they're starting commercial fishing, and I think it's getting better, slowly getting better. You're seeing weights go up in tournaments there, but it's getting better slowly.
I think the smallmouth are taking over, with those Asian carp in there. They've figured them out.
yeah, the smallmouth. I mean, we've had last year. You know, finally toward the latter part of the summer, they were mixing the weights were mixed with large and small, but the smallmouth. I mean, they're weighing in whole limits of smallmouths of 20 to 25 pounds easily here.
Dang.
They're big. They're aggressive.
And they figured out what to do with them carp, I guess.
Yeah, they have commercially trying to get them away, and it's made a huge difference in them. And I just think the smallmouth. I don't think the carp or push the fish around. It's just I don't think they like them big old cloud of them over the top of their heads, so they just kind of move off. I mean, it seems like the fish are shallower here now than they've ever been. The ledge, you don't see much of a ledge bite anymore on this lake, like back in the day. And they're catching those smallmouth. They're catching them in 3 foot of water over stumps.
Crazy.
Dang.
And to be honest with you, when I saw that Linda won, I'm like, oh, the frog bite must have been on. And it shocked me it shocked me when you said you were catching finesse fishing with a shaky head.
Yeah, that's what I used to do before I frog fish. So it's not like I don't know how to do it. I just like frog fishing. But I tried, like I said, every day I'd pull that frog out, throw it in them bushes, and you'd think those big girls would come out and slap at it, but they would not. No matter what color I threw, popping frog or my little live target, they usually come out and slap at it. Once they do that, then you know where they at. But they wouldn't do it. So it's just maybe in a week or two they'll start to do that, but they're not doing it now. Not for me. So we'll see about Gunnersville. We'll see how that works. It just
that'd be awesome.
Might not be a frog. No, so we'll see.
Now that's another bait I've never caught a fish on is a shaky head.
Well, you go up to throw a shaky head, you'll catch a fish. So
Travis says, appreciate you all having faith in us to keep the train rolling.
Oh yeah. Travis doing a great job.
Yeah, he's working hard. He's doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, we appreciate Travis reaching out to us, and it was his idea for us to do a show strictly for women anglers, and that's what our Monday shows are about. And people might think there isn't a spot for women in the pro level. I just figure it's a numbers game. Why aren't there? You hear, well, how come there's no women in the elites? Well, I think it's a numbers game. If you got 99 men against one woman, the odds are she's not going to make it. Yeah.
But there's a lot of reasons we can go into that, but yeah, it's a demographics. It's it's a economic. It's when you're in your 20s, you're good to go. You don't have any money. When you're in your 30s and late 20s, 30s, 40s, you got kids. Then when you're 50s, 60s, you got grandkids. Yep. It's the demographics. It's it's everything, and there's reasons why. It's not that women can't fish. I mean, some of the best anglers I've known have been women. It's just that the opportunities and the sponsorship and the and the lifestyle and and they don't 90,000 for a boat and gonna get spot. There's a lot of reasons why.
Oh yeah,
it's hard. And of all the women that are out there, a lot of women don't want to fish by themselves because of stereotypic or whatever it is. They fish with their husbands. There's a small minority of women who get out there and do it because they love it that much. It's an addiction, I guess. And same with you, see. You get out there and it's just you feel like you're in your right mind, so
yeah.
That's what I said all along with the women.
Yeah, go ahead, Secret.
That's what I said all along with the women's tour. I mean, me and Cheryl done this for 13 years, just trying to keep it going, and we got a handful of women that honestly, if they had the financing and the sponsors and stuff, they could go and hang with the men. I mean, Pam Martin Wells proved that when she went to the Classic. But it's just the women's nature. Like she said, if you got kids, grandkids, they're not going to be gone from their family 200 days out of the year. They can't put that time in to do it. They won't spend the money out of the household to go do it. And then you get another little thing. Once we had some women a few years back that they quit fishing the tour because they had, older parents at home that they were taking care of. It's just, that's why there's a need for the women's tour, so that we can fish 5 weeks out of the year. Everybody can still be competitive, and it's instead of going like the guys do. I think Pam Martin Wells that week at the Classic, she had the time to spend on it on the lake and practice, and then she done quite well. And she would probably do that if she could go to every one of the tournaments and do that. But she had family that was sick and stuff, and she couldn't do that either. She's having a hard time even for herself right now. So I mean, I actually backed down from boater to co-angler because the last 5 years I've had shoulder surgeries and foot surgeries, and it seemed like every year I had something going on that I had to hurry up and rehab to get back for the first tournament as a boater. And it's pretty hard it's just by the end of practice, I was exhausted. The tournament hadn't even started yet. So I just been backing down because of that. And it's made a lot of difference. I feel a lot better. I'm a little bit healthier, and I'm not wearing myself out during the week. I'm letting them boaters wear it out, and then I'll just sit in the back.
Let them steer the boat. Let them steer the boat.
Thank you, Secret.
Yeah. And I started out as on the pro side, and I never got to fish with any of them ladies, and I missed a ton. I wouldn't advise that to nobody. I don't care how good you are or how good you think you are. You still need to come in as a co-angler, probably 2 years, and there's just so much you can learn. I mean, and not just the fishing part of it; it's the whole atmosphere of all of it. Breaking down the lake, or like you said, how to pack for the day. And then, I mean, I'm 61. Like I said, the last tournament I drew that little 16-year-old. Oh, she's 16, 18-year-old. Chloe Barnum. Chloe Barnum.
Yep.
And I learned as much that day from that 18-year-old that I've learned in 30 years of fishing.
Oh, yeah.
So don't just jump into it as a boater. Different. I mean, Oh, yeah.
Now, I mean, we actually have a club up here in New York. It's one of the bigger clubs, and you can't join the club and come in as a boater. You have to spend at least 1 year as a co-angler.
I like that idea.
That's a good idea.
Travis also says guys don't really care about the pictures, etc. Women care about their relationships more, and companies should sponsor them. I guess. I guess that's all depends on who you are and everything like that. But
I did notice. I fished a BFL Saturday at Douglas, and I'm seeing more and more women fishing BFLs, young, old. I mean, I'm seeing a lot more girls than ladies fishing that level.
Well, you also have a lot. You got them at the high school and the college now, so they're starting to get that. And then there's a lot of older Bassin gals that are still out there, like the Linda Redfords, the Mary Lipkas, the Bonnie Catkeys. They're out there in a BFL. If you're going co-angler, it like Secret said, it's a lot. I don't want to say it's easy because it's not. It's a different hardness as far as figuring out what your angler is doing and adapting to that. But as far as doing all the boat stuff, and it's a lot easier that way on them. So that's But to me, BFLs are local sticks, and I have a hard time with that because all the local sticks come in there, and that's a tough thing too if you win, because
it is.
All the local experiences, that's what they're fishing. So I like the LBAA because there might be one or two locals, but we all are on a pretty even playing field because we all come from somewhere else. So we have to practice, find what is working for us, and then try and exploit that. Where BFL, it's some guys fish. They only fish one lake, like Table Rock or Kentucky. That's all they fish. So they know all the brush piles. They know, they've fished it since they were 2. So they should do good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't, like what? So yeah.
I think like my favorite part about being a co-angler is, you get to fish with all the different people and you learn different things every time you're out there. And not only that is like in New York, if the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour, I don't have to worry about having my foot on the trolling motor.
Yeah.
That's right.
If the wind's bad, I could stand down in the gunnel and fish from there.
And I think
That's
LBAA
the hardest thing for
Yep.
I have a hard time with co-angling because I like to make my own decisions. I co-angle every year, like I said, in the fall time, which is fine. We because it's a team tournament. It's not. A lot of times when I co-angled with some of the trails, you get front-ended. Now the women don't do that a lot. They don't front-end you a lot. They give you something to fish at. The men, once they know you can fish, it's a tough one.
They're intimidating.
It's a little bit.
They're intimidating.
They don't want to get beat by women, so I think it's an extra incentive for them.
Oh yeah, but Travis, I like how he schedules your guys' tournaments. There's no back to back. He spreads them out really well, so I think he does a really good job of scheduling.
Yeah.
You guys are breaking up.
Oh, sorry.
Well, he had to this year. He took it on so quick that he had to just pretty much take whatever he could get real quick. He didn't really get to schedule the way he wanted to, but so I think next year will be different.
Yeah.
But he got some good lakes at good times.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So I do have a couple. I do have a question for you, ladies. What is your favorite homemade cookie?
I've already answered. A brownie, a good brownie. Good, not a dry one.
How about you, Secret?
I probably have to go with Linda, but I like pecans in mine. I want the corner.
No nuts.
There you go.
I want the middle
of the corner.
I want the middle, and no nuts.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I want nuts, and I want the corner.
Well,
that's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we're at the point of the show where we like to let you ladies talk about yourselves and your sponsors and everything like that, because it does take backing, whether it's a spouse, a friend, or whatever. And Secret, you want to go first? Talk about your sponsors and people who helped you along the way. And
okay. So like I said, I've been doing this for 32 years, I think now. Actually, me and Linda and Robbie Hartline, I think are the only ones that's fished every single LBAA tournament. I'm
fished every
pretty sure about that.
No, we have.
Yeah. So that's B3. But now Precision Sonar, which that's my employer, and then High Tech Outdoors are my sponsors here at home. Then of course, our family that lets us leave home, and husband has to take care of all this stuff at home. So, but I think he likes it when I leave, so seems to like it. But I got lots of family and friends that supports me, and it's it's fun to get home, and especially with this live feed, live weigh-in stuff and everything. Man, I mean, since I got home, everybody says, "Oh, it was awesome being able to watch that," And
yes,
I think they thought I was like sandbagging the second day because I didn't turn in a fish till 10 o'clock. My husband was about to have a fit. He said, "You should have turned one in." And I said, "I didn't have one to turn in," But so it's fun to watch. I'm sure for home, and I've seen some of the views and stuff that Travis had, and it's like, I think it was up 500 and something % in 24 hours or something like that. He said,
"Yeah, it's growing.
It's getting the word around." Yeah. And I wish that when we started this, I wish all of these ladies, like she talked about Mary Lipka, if somebody would take these ladies and just go to their backstory when she started. They have some incredible stories. I mean,
Absolutely.
they could make movies off of some of these ladies. And I wish, that at some point you guys or somebody could do stuff like that and just go all the way back, because I think Mary was one of the first big winners of a Red Man All-American or something like that. Is that right, Linda?
She was the first person to win a classic from the amateur division. She won that Ranger boat.
Wow.
Yeah,
But these ladies got some incredible stories. You go through all of them that, should be told sometime or another.
Absolutely.
Great personalities and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary's got that video. I wish we could get it, because it is classic. I mean, it is just phenomenal. She's got that old video from when she won the classic. It's cool.
Awesome. All right. Anyone else want to think Secret? I know you.
Oh, I think that pretty much covers it. Well, of course, Travis and Craig and them, because that was a saving grace for me and Cheryl for them to step up and take this thing over.
Absolutely.
And
now you get to enjoy it.
Exactly, and it's already showing. I mean, Cheryl. Actually, we stayed with Cheryl at this tournament, and we sitting in the cabin, the lodge room. Oh, Wednesday night or something like that, Tuesday. And Cheryl just standing in the middle room. She said, "Secret, isn't this fun?" I mean, we were just fishing and enjoying it. We didn't have. She's usually up till midnight doing pictures or something, all the time. And I've literally had taken the computer out of her lap because she fell asleep on it. But so I said, yes, it's fun. So we're really enjoying it. And like she said, they're doing a phenomenal job. I mean,
Absolutely.
Awesome job.
Yeah. And you got Candy York just chimed in, says, "We love our Grammy." So it must be your granddaughter.
Right.
And then Judy Reese says, "Secret, come to Lake Cumberland, Kentucky, and show me how to catch some big fish."
I'd like to go to Lake Cumberland.
That's close to me. It's pretty lake. It is pretty lake.
Yep.
Oh, okay, Linda, your turn. We know you like the fudge brownies. Donuts inside.
I can eat a whole tray of those if they're the right, texture. But I'd like to thank my sponsors. Like I said, Mercury, that getting me around the lakes and just getting where I need. And then Liquid Mayhem, I've been using that a lot. I want to also thank H2O Sports. They're my where I get my boat maintenance and that done. They've been keeping me on the water. And then just local, when I have little stuff to tweak the boat, like this week, I go to Trader Bill's in Hot Springs, and their service department has helped me out. I can't tell you how much. I mean, they're a great group of guys there and ladies. Tess is really wonderful in the service department. So I appreciate them really taking care of me, because I got a tournament next week that I for my local club here, because I got one local club in Missouri, the ladies, and have a local club here in Hot Springs. So I got a lot of local tournaments back and forth, and then the major tour with the LBAA. So I want to thank them. I want to thank my friends and family for just supporting me and help me out, and then also my dog babysitter. She is the greatest. I mean, I think I keep her in business because I don't think I'm home most of the time. But I have. So my dog babysitter is if I didn't have her, I wouldn't be able to go, because I mean, I just you need somebody to watch your dogs, and I don't like putting them in a kennel and that. So kudos to Ann and like I said, all the friends and family that help out, because you need that support to do what we do, and I really appreciate it.
100%. And Rita Watkins says, "Thank you all very much."
Thank you.
All right.
Yep.
All right. No, I definitely agree with you, ladies. I would like to get some of the women on from when it first started and talk about the stories and things like that. I think that'd be a great show, or 5 or 10 or 20.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Mary Luca, I can't tell you how many stories she has, and great personality. Great, but Mary has some stories. Let me tell you, she's had me rolling. So. and a great fisherman. I mean, when I first joined the Bass and Gals, the local club up there, Mary taught us a lot. That's what the club is for, to teach people, the basics, and then let you, go with it. And but she helped us out on, anything. If you need to learn how to tie, you need to do a boat, learn how to, back a boat down a, ramp, all that stuff. That's what those local clubs are for.
Absolutely.
So they're really essential to the sport. So I'm kudos for local clubs.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, very much for coming on, talking about Table Rock. I hope we get to see you again. Anytime you want to come on, just let us know, and we'll definitely get a date for you. Any Monday, well, secret, you can come on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Or Wednesday.
You can come on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if Kentucky Lake, because Secret's going to fish with our club at Kentucky Lake. I'll let you know if a frog bite's on. I'll text you.
Okay.
All right.
Good deal.
If it is, I'll try and get video on my phone or something. I'll see what I can do. But every time I used to take my GoPro out, I wouldn't catch anything, so I don't take it out on the boat.
I'll blame you. But Lord willing, I'm gonna be down in Guntersville. See you guys in June, hopefully. Lord willing,
right.
I get down there and see you guys weigh in. Hopefully, that's the plan. So hopefully, work don't get in the way, and I can make it down and see you guys. I'd love to.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, you ladies have a good night. Get rested up. Guntersville will be here before you know it. And thank you for coming out and talking about your experiences.
And congrats on the win. Congrats on the win, ladies. Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All righty.
Take care.
Thank y'all.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, that couple winners there, just just total class there, brother. I'm telling you. Those ladies know how to get it done. Yeah.
And that I would love to get some of the history. I like history anyways, but history of the LBAA and the Bass and Gals and all that.
It's definitely, man, some of the pioneers. I bet they have some stories, first starting out. So that'd be pretty cool.
I think I got an idea.
Cool.
I think I know just the right guy to get in touch with and maybe do a production on it.
Yeah, I think I know the same guy. Yeah, that would be pretty killer. That would be pretty good.
Yeah, I'll see him Saturday, by the way.
Cool. Well, tell him I said hello when you get down there.
What's that?
Tell him I said hello when you get down there.
I will. And we're going to do a show for the American Anglers Outdoors Network, and might put that on the JCX Fishing Channel. As
cool.
All of our shows from here, from Co-Anglers Corner, go on to. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everything you guys do for us. Anything else you got, Rob?
No, just hats off to the ladies LBAA. I know y'all do a great job, and Travis and guys put on a great tournament. So I said, Lord willing, I'll be able to go down there and see you guys weigh in next month, hopefully, and look forward to it. So you ladies and the LBAA, keep doing what you're doing. We'll cheer you on.
All right. Good night, everybody. Take care and be safe.
See y'all. Peace out.